Hello. We're actually starting a few minutes early because the chat showed up early, so why not, right? Yeah, this is Eugene. I'm back for yet another game of, in the Castlevania series. Let's see here. We're going to start off real quick with going at the chat. Like I said, they already showed up. Epically, my boy, showed up. He said, I'm going to be first. just to do it. And then, of course, Cyrus had to reply with, well, which is his typical sign. Oh, look, and now Epically said, well, again. So that's where he goes. So anyway, the game that we're playing is possibly the best soundtrack of any cartridge ever made. That is hard to argue. I'm not going to argue it. I'm not going to argue it. It is so good. In fact, I remember there was, oh God, I can't remember what the name of it was. It was a video game show, like they were talking about video game news or whatever, and I vaguely remember it from it was been about, let's see, this came out in 91, so it had been late 80s, 91 around when when it was on, and they were talking about this game coming out, and they literally were talking about, they're like, this is the best music I've heard from like any video game ever back then. And yeah, like I get it, like it's freaking fantastic. So yeah, we're definitely going to be enjoying the music this time. Sai also says some of the music is so good it doesn't even seem possible. It literally sounds like Red Book CD audio. Yeah, like this is a big game. It's got a lot of stuff in it. The music's great. The sound effects are great. This is one of my favorite Castlevania games. Full stop. Anywhere. Just it's great. Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend. Thank you, Alex. Thank you for that. So let's talk about it. We're continuing on in our Castlevania Mania series. And let's see. We've played release timeline. We've hit Castlevania 2, Castlevania The Adventure, or the Castlevania Adventure, Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. Yesterday, we followed up with Castlevania 2, Belmont's Revenge. Actually beat the game. Did not mean to go for 2 hours. Don't plan on going for 2 hours again today. Y'all need to watch me in the chat when I start getting close to an hour. Like, tell me cut off, because I could just keep playing this game. This game is fantastic. Absolutely love it. And so today, we're hitting the back end of 1991. This came out in December of 1991, and like we had no idea what was about to drop on us. So this is a game, if you did not already have a Super Nintendo at this point, this is a game worth buying a Super Nintendo for, in my opinion. So, I mean, granted, Super Mario World, I think already, fills those shoes, but all right, release timeline, we got something new going on. So, release timeline, not release timeline, story timeline. We got Dracula's Curse that began all the way back in 1476. We skip 100 years ahead to hit the Castlevania Adventure, or Castlevania The Adventure, followed up by Belmont's Revenge. Then we went on to Castlevania, the original, and then Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. This game, on the other hand, is not the next one in the series. In fact, we don't even jump all the way ahead. This game is not even in the core timeline. This is the beginning of a new timeline. It goes all the way back to 1691. And even though it is, it's called Castlevania 4, you would think, yes, it's definitely going to be in the main timeline. It is not. Let's see, Epically, you can stream for as long as you want. I'm not planning on streaming today. Okay, well, I got the okay from the boy, so I guess I can just play this until the very end if I want. So like I said, we are playing Super Castlevania IV on the SNES. I'm going to poke a bear real quick. It is SNES or Super Nintendo. It is not SNES or SNES or anything like that. If you say SNES or SNES or anything like that, just go ahead and exit from the chat, please. I don't need that horror in my life, and you don't either. It is the SNES, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Anyway, this was released in December of 1991. We are, once again, playing Simon Belmont, but like I said, we're playing an alternate version of him. And this is in the alternate timeline. So I once heard someone call it SNES. SNES? SNES? Not sure. Oh, Born Distracted's here. Are you planning to play the whole Castlevania game series? No, Born Distracted. I'm actually going to play. I'm looking at hitting most of the 8 and 16-bit games. I'm going to loop in at least Symphony of the Night. But like I'm not. There are a lot of games, and then even then, I don't have a way to emulate. I'm going to hit the. So I'm looking at doing NES, SNES, Game Boy Advance, N64, Sega Genesis, and at least one PlayStation game. There are a lot of other games in there that technically fall within the timeline and everything else, but like I don't have a way to emulate or stream the DS games. So unfortunately, that's going to knock some of them out. I don't think I can emulate PS2 games at this point. I'll have to see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm mainly looking at hitting some of those games. Plus, I got to save something for next year, right? Like, we got to do this Castlevania thing again next year, right? Whenever spooky season rolls around. So, because this is what I do when it's spooky season, is I play Castlevania games. It's just what I do. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and start playing the game. Oh, and I do still have my OG copy of Castlevania IV, but my brother has my. Actually, no, I have my SNES, but he has most of the games, and I say it's our. At this point we were still sharing a console. He still has all of my original games and controllers and stuff like that. So, yeah, and maybe one day I'll get them back from him. I don't know. I don't really have the room back here behind me for it, but we'll see. So, that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Explaining pronunciation is hard in a chat. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. No. SNES. NES. Okay. Yeah, that's hard. All right, here we go. Prepare for the some of the best music of any Castlevania ever. And I've already knocked out at least one achievement. I wanted to play this yesterday. Number one, I wanted to make sure it would work. And number two, I wanted to make sure the achievements were working. Please let me know if the sound is too loud. So, isn't Eugene a mansplaining expert? I guess so. I guess I'm mansplaining this. It's not like I'm telling you how to play the game. I'm just explaining. I'm trying to give you some backstory. I'm trying to give you some richness. Born Distracted. Hey, Bassarino, this RetroArch or PlayStation? No, this is this is SNES. Not SNES or SNES or anything like that. And yes, I'm doing this on RetroArch. So, Eugene is an expert at great many things that some consider to be unnatural. Oh, you know what? You're not hearing the sound. There we go. If I need to turn up the sound, let me know. Every 100 years, the forces of good mysteriously start to weaken. Thus, the power of Dracula starts to revive itself. His power grows stronger and stronger every 100 years. Dracula has revived many times. However, his sinister actions have been constantly thwarted by the Belmont family. It's been 100 years since the last confrontation between Dracula and the Belmont family. But now, the serenity of Transylvania is being threatened by destructive forces. On a dark and eerie night, Dracula rose from his grave to unleash his destructive power over the countryside. Once again, Simon Belmont is called upon to destroy Dracula. With only his whip and courage, he sets out to restore peace to Transylvania. Louder? Okay. I don't know what else I can do about that. Is that better on my mic? All right, tell me how that is. That needs to be louder, softer, whatever, because we want to get the music right on this. Is that good? Is that better? That's more gooder. Okay, we're gonna go with that. So, here we go. Is there a code for this? I don't remember if there is or not. We're gonna try Help Me. I don't remember if Help Me worked or not. Love this reference to the original Castlevania. I love the fact that you can actually jump and land on stairs mid-air, whereas in the older games, like, you could not do that. You had to start off at the base. And then, of course, the thing that this game is known for is being able to use the whip anywhere. Up, down, left, right, diagonally. Is this the only Castlevania game you can do that? If it is, they really need to bring that back. Like, part of me wants to talk and talk about this game as I'm going. There's also part of me is just like, no, like, let everyone listen to the music, dude. And then, of course, you can actually literally spin it all the way around. Whip it good. Ha! Nice. A lot of classic enemies that have been brought back. The sprites are nice and big in this thing. And then, of course, one of the other things that was in this game that they really need to bring back for pretty much any other game is being able to swing with the whip. Freaking love that. And it felt really natural, too. Like, you know how sometimes in games when you go to swing on things, it's like, oh, what do I let go? This just, they got this down like 100%. I'm trying to think of another game where you can use a weapon like a whip or something to swing around and it feels this good. It's this exact. And this is the last... Oh, man, I got points there. This is the last of the OG-style Castlevania games. Most of them, with the exception of... No, I take that back. The one... what's it called? Bloodlines, I think, on the Genesis is still very much this type of feel. But after this is pretty much where we go to more of a RPG type situation. Are you going to drop down or not? And see, even now, I'm still wanting to, like, those, these candle operas that are, just above where my whip would normally be if I just normally whip. I'm still wanting to, instinctively, because I've been playing these other Castlevania games, I'm wanting to jump to hit them with the whip when all I have to do is just aim up. Like, it's just that good. And then I love the fact that you can just let the whip just lay there and it will continuously keep hitting things. It's a very... oh, look, our old friend Medusa's back. Like, this may be the best version of the whip there is in any of the games. As much as I like having a flaming whip, because, I mean, dude, flaming whip, it's hard to make that much better. But literally, I just, like, throw the whip out, let it hang, and it, like, freaking... Oh, look, I got another achievement. And it kills enemies. It's great. Here we go. I know I've got this guy, that's why I'm not too worried about. And back to our old... We get the red jewel, the sphere, it drops down. That's how you end the level. This is very much, whereas Castlevania 2 stepped away from Castlevania 1 a lot, and I think that's why a lot of people didn't like Castlevania 2 because it was so different. And Castlevania 3 went back to that old tried and true formula. This is like the perfection of that. Notice our boss is halfway through the level and not at the very end of the level. All right, here we go. What do we got going on in the chat room? Epically, I can hear him just fine, but I think it's because of using headphones. Okay, by the way, you have maxed out on my PC. Okay, so yeah, I think I got the sound taken care of. We're also old. Okay. We are getting podcast gaming. Okay. Is this the easiest Castlevania? What do you think? Oh, man. Geez, I don't know if this is the easiest one. Let me think on that. That's actually, but that's a valid question though. This may be the easiest one. And I would say it's not necessarily because of it's just lacking difficulty. I would almost say it's just because it's so, your controls are so good. And maybe that's why they haven't, maybe that's why they didn't continue on. Now that I think about it, maybe that's why we don't get being able to use the whip in the 360 motion, because they figured out, oh man, this game's way too easy if you can literally just hit anything anywhere around you. See, there's some platforms up here, but I don't think I can get to them. I don't know how I can get to them. And it's not like I'm ever going to be Alucard in this one, so that I could change into a bat or something to fly up there, so. I wonder who put up these candles just like out in the forest. Oh, shoot, I didn't see that. I want to know who put up these candles out in the middle of the forest, like just on the back wall of, I guess, like a mudslide or something. Not exactly sure what that was going on back there. Wasn't paying attention. But like that moss monster thing that I already killed 2 of them that jump out of the background, the fact that like it's there, you can clearly see it. But if you weren't paying attention, you could and see, I've got used to jumping again, get that. You could like just kind of pass by it until it hits you. Alright, let's not fall in the pit this time. How about that? See, there's another moss monster there. Or tree, or brush, or something. Alright, we got zombies coming out of the ground now. Surprised I didn't get hit just then. Like that bat that was flying, like, no problem. Oh, the frogs. The frogs get to join the party of enemies that are hard to kill sometimes. Especially if they kind of gang up on you. Do I really want to go down there? No, I'm good. Got a whole roast there. Oh. Meant to do is that, and I forgot, because up to this point, in order to throw your secondary weapon, you pressed up and attack. But now that we've got a Super Nintendo controller going on here, they moved it to R1, or what would have been just R back then, because, you know, we didn't have R1 and R2 and L1 and L2. All right, here we go. Fighting Medusa. Yeah, I mean, granted, kind of want to say that. Kind of thinking right now, yes, maybe this is the easiest Castlevania. And I'm not going to say that's a bad thing. Effects here. So back when this came out, back in the 90s, you know, before there was such a thing as like surround sound, you know, home theater systems, my dad had this really nice stereo system that he left at my mom's house when where we were living, and I hooked up the Super Nintendo to the stereo system, and it had these two really big, you know, back in the day, these two really big, you know, speakers that hooked up to it, and man, like hearing this game, like the echoes and stuff in it, and just the bass for like all the different things that happen. Oh, that was such a great sound. So, all right. Like, can you hear the drips going back? Like, this sounds really good in headphones, but this sounds even better on like a classic stereo system. And I'm not a music guy. Oops. Glad I got hit forward instead of backwards. Oh, I did not mean to jump up to do that. Anyone else ever do that? Did anyone ever hook up their whole consoles to a legit stereo system? It may also be that this is the easiest Castlevania game, if nothing else, for they actually give you, at least in these beginning stages, they actually give you a decent amount of health. Like, or I should say, ways to regenerate your health. Because it seemed like on the other games, I was constantly searching. I didn't really want to do that, but oh well. For health. There's also a lot of hearts. Like, granted, I mean, you know, we've talked about this before. I'm not the type of person that uses a lot of my secondary weapon. I tend to hold on to it. But like, I've got 81 hearts. Like, I could definitely be using my secondary weapon a lot more. I forgot what the... Okay, it goes out and then it burns a little bit. All right. Oh, I forgot when they broke apart they do that. Okay. Let's see if there's anything on here. Sai says there's a reason I collect SNES cards. The console is special. Yes, it is. And I've heard people say, is the SNES the best console ever? I am not going to pose that question to you, Cyrus, because I know how much having to think about stuff like that and debate over it drives you insane. I can't remember, can I kill this thing or not? I think it takes a lot of hits to kill. Because I remember on one of our earlier episodes of the Epically Geeky show, we were doing a thing where we had to come up with a list of like the top 5. I can't remember if we did SNES. I know we did Sega Genesis, and it was like torturing Cyrus. And part of me kind of wants to go back and do that again. Not because I want to torture Cyrus, but because now that we're doing this live again on YouTube, like, we could actually have graphics and stuff up to keep track of everything, instead of me reading it off and being like, oh, hey, yeah, we're up to the... See, I've got 99 hearts. But the whip is so good. Like, oh, shoot. I forgot I wouldn't go back down. Well, I'm back to 5 hearts now. So I've died twice. And quite literally, the only reason I've died is because I wasn't paying attention. Not because I got overwhelmed in a fight or something was extremely difficult. I just lost my focus, essentially. Yeah, unless I play some of the other Castlevania games, and one just really sticks out to me as being like much easier, I'm gonna have to say this is probably it, because I also like, this is one of those games that is just so much fun. It sounds good, it looks beautiful, it's just a hell of a lot of fun to play, that like, even though I beat this I don't even know how many times on the Super Nintendo, I could always go back and play it again. Like, I would just be like, I'm kind of bored, I'm gonna go play Castlevania. Whereas, like, in order to play and beat... No, I'm gonna stick with this. In order to play and beat the other games, it was like, you had to prepare yourself mentally. You're just like, nope, I've gotta be ready for this. Just kind of a desolate, empty music going on here. Just nothing going on. So last night, decided I wanted to watch something with the boys. And, you know, staying in the spooky season. Decided I was going to watch something with them, and it was like, well, Alex doesn't really care for horror stuff. So I was like, well, we still want to watch something in the spooky season. Doesn't necessarily be horror. So last night I introduced him to Dracula Dead and Loving It. I think it went well. Yeah, it's definitely, you know, Mel Brooks movies now are definitely slower. You know, they don't hit like they used to, just because, you know, the way that movies have changed. But there were still several scenes where they both were cracking up. They're just like, oh my God, I can't believe they said or did that. So, oh, hey, Tex-Mex is here. I think it is for the game car era. As much as I love the Genesis, the SNES won out. See, oh, the music separation on that was fantastic. I hope you're listening to this on with headphones in, people. The separation's great on some of these tracks. Oh, our old friend, the bony snake thing. And see, I should have left the whip out, because I could have used the whip as the shield, essentially. Oh, but what I was saying is, you know, I had a Genesis. I was one of those, I was lucky that I had both consoles. I had both a Super Nintendo and a Sega Genesis. And to me, the systems were, you played certain games on the Genesis and certain games on the Super Nintendo. And that was the big difference between the two. It wasn't necessarily that one was better, and yes, I do remember the whole console wars, and of course, kind of getting roped into that stupidity. You know, yeah, Genesis is better, Super Nintendo is better, blah, blah, blah. They're different consoles, and they've got different games. So, like, role-playing wise, I liked the Super Nintendo better, because, you know, we had, like, you know, Final Fantasy and stuff on it. But, like, side-scrollers and fighting games, I prefer the fighting games on the Super Nintendo because I like the controller better. But, like, even though, yes, you could play Madden and stuff on a Super Nintendo, you don't. You don't play Madden on the Super Nintendo. Madden goes on the Genesis. Period. End of story. There's no debate. And yet, I say that, and, what's it called? NBA Jam and stuff was better on the Super Nintendo because, well, we also had access to the multi-tap on the Super Nintendo, and so we could actually play, you know, NBA Jam and some of those other games 4 players. Oh, look at all those hearts. I mean, granted, I've already got 70 hearts right now. Like, I don't need them, but... Oh, that was lucky. I almost bit the dust on that one. And see, that didn't look like I could land on it. Had that meat not fallen on the top of that pillar, I would have assumed that pillar was just background. Oh, here we go with the boss. Not that hard. Perfect Viper. So I'm guessing I got that because I didn't get hit? Eugene barely heard of Sega. Dude, I had a Genesis. I was just saying that. And I loved the Genesis. I wish we had not sold it, but I mean, we needed the money. When you're young, you need the money sometimes, right? Let's see here. There's a reason I click. Yeah. Eugene, no love for the turbo. Dude, Born Distracted. I never had a TurboGrafx. In fact, Cyrus Martin is the first person I know that had a TurboGrafx. I simply did not know anyone that had one. Wow, Cy, you were some influence on him. LOL. Eugene barely heard of Sega. Really? Anyway, but yeah, he was the first one that I ever knew that had a TurboGrafx 16. And I was just like, this is cool. The only time I ever played one, I talked about this. I can't remember if I talked about this on another stream or what. But the only time I ever played one was we had a miniature golf, a putt-putt golf and games. And they had this one section over on the side where you could rent time and play Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, and they had a TurboGrafx 16. And I went over there and did it one time and played Bonk's Adventure, which I mean, Bonk's an okay game. It's definitely not my favorite. Of course, I also didn't grow up with it, so I also didn't like fall in love with it like some people might have when they were growing up. But there was no way I could have supported 3 consoles. My mom would not have been down for 3 consoles. Like, it was already hard enough to be like, hey, I wanted a game on this and on this other system. So yeah, like that was already difficult enough. Trying to do 3 systems would have been a no-go. That would have been like kind of trying to do both systems nowadays, to be honest with you. I know most people don't consider having a Wii part of that. They're like, yeah, I've got a PlayStation 5. Oh, and a Wii, or I've got a, Xbox, Series X and a Wii. Yeah. But yeah, like trying to do all 3 back then would have been insane. So I don't know what happened there. I hit the button, or at least I thought I hit the button. Oh, jeez, I forgot about that. But so look at some of the details. Look at the skull in the background. It's got glowing eyes, but as you move, it follows you. Just little things like that. You know what's funny? And I'm going to be very honest here. She did again. The boomerang cross has always been my favorite weapon in Castlevania. But I have to admit, like, Now that I'm playing these games again, especially when it comes to the point where I'm about to fight a boss, like, I'm finding I really like the axe. Like, its usefulness is just kind of insane. Remember that time. Nope, gonna stick with the axe. Oh, I barely made that one. So I'm surprised he didn't get me just then. I think my controller's doing a weird thing again. I'm gonna have to plug in. You know what, we're gonna nip this in the bud. I'm really starting to think that because I'm using a USB to Bluetooth adapter, it's for whatever reason, like trying to stream and do everything else, like I'm at 42% on the CPU usage right now, and it kind of goes up to 50 sometimes. I'm wondering if that's interrupting the connection as time is going by. So yeah, we'll see. Oh, lost concentration. Once again, that's my third life I've lost to lost concentration. Maybe I wouldn't have lost concentration. Maybe I just didn't hit the button in time. What was saying here? Science games as a whole. Yeah, I barely had one. Yeah, nobody had one. LOL. Cy has games and a whole lot more. Yeah, he does. Just a rumor. Okay. I don't know what's going on in the chat, but I'm about to move on. And us knowing that Cy had a turbo was long after the turbo went under. Yeah, it's very true. That is very true. So. Oh, shoot. I thought I could stand on that the second time. But I guess not. So we all learned something. So younger Eugene would have been like, yeah, duh, dude. No, you can't do that. I don't know if it's controller's not getting my command or if old man latency's getting me. Could be a little of both. Let's be honest. Wow, that was a thing that happened. So, tell you what, give me 1 second. I gotta take care of something real quick, and I will be. All right, and we're back. Okay. Try this again. Because I've not been doing like as good as I should have been. Like, I literally was right here. Jeez. Yeah, I'm at 52% right now. This makes me wonder if there's a memory leak or something going on. Tell you what, we're going to do this real quick. We're going to try this real quick. Got a save state. All right, let's go back in. Sound seems better. And I was right here. Jeez. Man, I am not doing well. All right, let's try this again. Yeah, I just didn't have enough life because I was like, I knew I just used to stand there and just like beat the hell out of this thing. Let's see here. And that's not okay. I learned to cash out. Oh, the casino. Yeah, you gotta know when you hold them. Yeah, by the time y'all met me, my Turbo Duo was already retro. Yeah. So, and then commented about the game's chugging, and yeah, since I've reloaded the game, which, like I said, I'm guessing that's a memory leak issue. This was mind-blowing as a kid, too. Oh, shoot. I guess I let go of it accidentally. I don't think I can make it over there. I think I have to... Nope. Do I go over there? No, there's no way I can go over there. Man, I've completely forgotten where to go. Super Mega Graphics 64. This game, Mario World, and F-Zero sold the console. Period. Full stop. Nope. Okay, so I can't remember. Do I have to? Maybe I have to hold out on the platform long enough for the room to start turning again. Maybe that's what I do. It's been, obviously, it's been a while since I've done this. Yeah, I think this is what I do. Yep, that's what it was. And then I thought when I was a kid that the pit that's kind of coming down there to the bottom right now, I thought, well, do I slide in there? And no, you wait for the bridge to appear here on my left. Now I remember. Now I remember. This room is freaking awesome, but yeah, it just invokes slow down. I remember I knew people that couldn't watch this. Like if they were watching me play this game, if I got to this point, they had to close their eyes and I had to tell them when I finished this tunnel. Yeah, that level was very much kind of a tech demo. Come on. I think there are multiple ways to go through this, if I remember correctly. But don't quote me on that. This would be a fun game to go back and do hardcore achievement hunting on. Because once again, like we said, it is definitely one of the easier Castlevanias. Which enemy is this? Oh, this one! I forgot about this guy. Oh no! He got me right at the end. Any cheat codes for this game? Born Distracted? I don't know. I thought the Help Me may have gotten me more lives, but I don't think it did. I'm at the point, though. I'm all the way back here. Seriously? Alright, I'm going to keep playing a little bit longer. Of course, Alex said I can play as long as I want. But yeah, I may start using the old rewind here in a second. Because we've already covered all this. We've already done this. We're going to go through one more time. Come on, dude. Yeah, so like I said, I showed the boys the old... last night we watched Dracula Dead and Loving It. The other... There's one more Mel Brooks movie I do want to show them, but unfortunately, I feel like they need to see another movie first. Come on now, get the jump down. There we go. And that is, I want to show them... what's it called? Men in Tights, and I feel like they need to see Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves first, because otherwise they're not going to get any of the jokes or understand what it's referencing. Oh, we're all the way back here? I forgot we're all the way back here. And then after that, I asked Nick if he wanted to watch another movie with me. And so we were kind of looking to see what we wanted to watch, and we settled on 28 Days Later. I don't know how we got to that point, but he decided he wanted to watch 28 Days Later with me. So we watched 28 Days Later. And he enjoyed it. And he was like, well, are there any more? I'm like, yeah, there were 2 more. I said, I don't remember if I've seen the second one or not. Yeah, 28 Days Later was 2002. And then I think 28 Weeks Later was 2007? It wasn't too much longer after that. And I might have actually seen that one. I don't remember. But the newest one that just came out this year was 28 Weeks Later. And it did not really do that well in the box office. I remember it being on the summer movie game list. And we watched the trailer for that one. And he's like, I don't think I want to watch that one. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't look interesting to me either. It looks like they've gone... It sounds like they're like, well, zombies aren't, the rage virus zombies aren't scary enough. We've got to do something else with it now. And so it looks like there's like a cult or something. And yeah. So we will probably watch 28 Weeks Later at some point. But I don't think we're going to probably continue on to 28 years later. Unless someone says it's just really good. I can't remember if I talked about this. So we watched, Nick and I watched Halloween last week or so. And the OG one. And he, it's funny, you get about halfway through that movie, you don't remember. First off, Michael Myers, just watching Michael Myers drive around in a car in a Ford POS with his mask on is just funny as hell. But yeah, by about halfway through the movie, we did a kill count real quick. Yeah, like he had killed his sister in the beginning. Spoilers for if you haven't seen the original, like 1976 Halloween movie. But anyway, he had killed his sister in the beginning of the movie. He kills the guy driving the truck where he gets his jumpsuit from, and then he killed a dog. And And he's like, that's it? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, dude, this is not like... Michael Myers became a lot more than he is later on than he is right now. But yeah, so he's also decided he wants to be Michael Myers. I have to make sure I keep saying Michael Myers, not Mike Myers. My wife keeps saying Mike Myers. I'm like, nope, totally different person. But he's decided he wants to be Michael Myers for Halloween. And he was looking it up. He's actually the right height for Michael Myers, at least the first one. OG Michael Myers was 5'11", and that's how tall my boy is. So he would be that tall. Now, granted, in the later movies, he got a little bit bigger. He got to be like 6'7". It was ridiculous. Don't know if I'm gonna be able to beat him this first round with the amount of health that I have. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Oh, hey, last line, what's going on? Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves is almost as ridiculous as Men in Tights, but both are very entertaining. Man, I guess I haven't watched Prince of Thieves in forever then. I don't remember it being that ridiculous. Last line, 28 weeks later is the second one, and it is pretty good. I vaguely remember seeing it when I watched the trailer. I was like, I think I remember seeing part of this. So, Born Distracted, Zombieland. We have not watched Zombieland yet. That is definitely on the to-do list. The question is like, Nick wants to watch movies with me more often than Alex does. And the question is Zombieland, in my opinion, the answer is yes. Is Zombieland enough for me to be like, hey, Alex, I really need you to sit down and watch this one with me? The other thing is he's kind of squeamish. He doesn't like a lot of blood and gore and stuff. And so Zombieland might be a little much for him. I know it's really not that bad in the string of things, in the whole sum of things, but yeah, it might be a little much for him, but we may give it a shot. So 28 years later is not, I'm not a fan of in the slightest, but maybe I didn't get it. Apparently the idea is the zombies have undergone an evolution. Nope. If that's the case, last line, you just completely unsold me on that idea. The idea of zombies eventually becoming, getting some of their humanity back and stuff like that. Nope, I'm not down for it. Super Mega Graphics. I want to see 28 First Dates later, the crossover with 50 First Dates. I would watch that as well. Myers not as proficient as Voorhees. Yeah, very true. So, who has a bigger body count, Michael Myers or Mike Myers? If you know what I mean. I don't know, man. Depending on, if you're going with what you can just see in the movies, it's clearly got to be Michael Myers. But if you go from his boasting, it would clearly be at least Austin Powers. By the way, another Mike Myers movie that I also really, really like, that I don't know if it gets enough love, is So I Married an Axe Murderer. That movie is funny as hell. It isn't that they get humanity back, rather they go on different evolutionary direction. Okay, but see, like, it looked like there was like a cult or something. Like, if it was like, now they're like super zombies, like, you get kind of like the zombies from Left 4 Dead. If you're getting like, oh, now there's a smoker zombie and a super fast zombie and stuff like that, I would be completely down for that. I think that would be awesome. That was actually my hopes for The Last of Us, the TV show. I never played the games. I know the first one's awesome, the second one not so much, but that was my hope for that show, because the reason my wife and I stopped watching what was it? The Walking Dead, is because it was just getting, number one, it was getting really rough. It was getting so dire, but it was just like the same thing over and over again. And I was like, oh, sweet. Now we're getting into, because at the beginning of that second season, we now have like this super big zombie monster. I know they're not zombies, but you know what they are. And they're like the one that was quiet and stuff like that. And I was like, this could be really interesting. And then the show very clearly became, oh no, we're going to watch two groups of people become, be horrible to each other. And I'm like, no, I can watch that on anything else. I'm done. So apparently everyone else was as well, because after about that second or third episode, apparently the ratings for that just went. So, almost like becoming a different branch of the species. Okay, fair enough. I think I had a variant of the T virus this past week. By the way, Si, I hope you are feeling better, man. Hope you're continuing to get better. So, I'm recovering from some shit myself last line. Yeah, I get it. So, yeah, like I said, luckily I was not sick this week, but since I work in public education, actually because I work in public education and my boys are in public education and my wife works in public education, like we're getting it just from all over. Like there's literally 3 different attack variables. I'm at the high school, the boys are in middle school, and my wife's in elementary school. So like it could be, if something's going around, there's a good chance that we could get it. Granted, we've been doing this long enough that we've built up a pretty good immunity. So I'm not 100%, but way better. Oh, that's good to hear. Sorry. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can beat this thing. Dang. Man, okay, I'm not gonna be able to beat this thing because I'm not. Yeah. I've got to stick to the whip. I need to I need more health, but I need to focus on the whip. The axes are too slow for me to get enough hits in. I mean, once he jumps, I can use an axe, but if he's down on the ground, I need to focus on nothing but whip hits. I'm going to say I'm a little disappointed in the chat because up to this point, and I don't think anyone has done it so far in any of my videos, maybe one of the older videos, I'm not getting a lot of Devo references, people. What's up with that? All right, let's go see if we can kill this guy. I am not looking at the chat at this moment. Oh, shoot. Oh. You know what? That was stupid. We're going to do that. Because I may need every hit I can get. Oh. No whip it, nay, nay. References, please. Well, I said that. Nope. We're not having that. Just have plenty of chicken soup and Sega Genesis, and you'll feel better. Good advice, last line. Solid advice. Well, today's Panda Express fortune says, a wink and a smile will brighten someone's day. So toughen up, Buttercup. Who would win in a fight between Castlevania and Ghosts and Goblins? Okay, define fight. Like, are we talking about which is the harder game? Because if that's the case, hands down, no question, Ghosts and Goblins. I forgot about these guys. These are kind of sadistic looking, I'll be honest. Because in the first game, it was clearly eagles, and they were dropping the little... I said they look kind of like monkey guys, but they were essentially like the same thing as Igor was when you fight Frankenstein. These look more like harpies wearing like costume masks, and the things they're dropping look kind of like sadistic bunny rabbits. Oh, shoot. Cannot believe I did that. What's funny is the sound that some of these guys are making when they die are clearly reused in, what's it called? Super Contra. Not Super Contra. That's Super C technically. I'm Contra the Alien Wars, which makes sense. And here we go. We are about to enter the castle. Like 5 stages to this. What are we at? We're at 115. Yeah, I don't think we're going to finish this game. In fact, I think I'm going to go to this next level. I'm going to call it. Oh, I love this level. This is very much a callback to the first level of the OG Castlevania. I love when they do this in games. How do y'all feel about that when they go back to when you get newer versions of old levels like this? I adore it. That was stupid. I just missed that one. Okay, if you don't have your headphones on, put them on now. This sounds so good. And I know it's just simply rotating the sound back and forth between the left and right channel, but the effect that it gives is so good. I like the way you see the candles, the flame on the candle sway back and forth as it sways. Just beautiful. about to fight a boss. No, not yet. I also love this enemy. Nope, gotta attack him. Oh! Trick bat. Oh! Alright, let's see here. I'm not at full health. If I can keep full health when I get to the boss battle, I'll be in good shape. All right, let's see what we got here. Technically, Contra 3 would have reused it because I think it came first. This came first. Yeah, I'm sure it did come first. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That could be said about a lot of stuff. Born Distracted. I like it personally. It is cool for both the OGs as well as newcomers for reusing. Yeah, yeah, it's simple but effective because busting makes me feel good. Yep, absolutely. Let's see here. Real Goose. Hi, Real Goose. How you doing? Hello, my first time here on your channel. What types of games do you usually play? Only retro stuff. Real Goose. The older I've gotten, the more I've realized I'm a retro gamer. Even though I have an Xbox Series S, I can't tell you the last time I fired the thing up. I've got a Nintendo Switch. Can't tell you the last time I fired it up. But since I've got a new PC, well, I say new. I've got a PC built and I'm got RetroArch set up on it. I'm decided to go back and start playing some of the older games again, specifically to try to get some of the old the achievements unlocked that you can do through retro achievements. So I'm an older retro guy. Yep, same here. You're in good company, dude. Mid 80s, mid 90s mostly. Yep. Once again, you're in good company, dude. Didn't mean to do that. Let's see if I can do that. Don't think so. There we go. I've always liked these red skeletons. I mean, I know they keep coming back, but I've just always liked them. The red enemy I don't like that keeps coming back though are the crimson heads that they added in that remake of the first what was it called? Resident Evil on the GameCube, the Crimson Heads were scarier than the Hunters when they introduced them. At least in my opinion. The walls are getting a little handsy here. I don't think it's worth it for one heart. What we got here? A single heart. Gotta love killing furniture. I also like the dancing couples. It's just a really cool idea. And I like how the theme of this level builds up. Like you have the women by themselves earlier, the female dancers by themselves earlier, and then you get the male, their counterparts, strolling up on them, and then you actually get the couples dancing, and then you finally get to the boss here. Which, yes, I know it is an epic dad pun, but Paula Abdul and Fred Astaire. Chef's kiss. Let's see here. Super Castlevania IV is one of my favorite games from my childhood. Top 10 on SNES easily. Yeah, we were saying that earlier. And there's no one here that was going to disagree with you on that. Heck yeah, I did a 40th anniversary stream for the NES myself last night. That's right, last night I saw your post that the SNES hit 40 years, man. That's crazy. This is the game where I kept asking my parent to rent it, so they finally gave up and just bought the darn thing for me. Yep, sometimes persistence works. Do you remember how much those the cross rules in the game? Not sure how familiar you are with this game. Dude, I'm very familiar with this game. I've beaten it multiple times on the original Super Nintendo. I'm pretty sure I've beat it even emulated. I'm like you. I generally like the boomerang cross as the best weapon. But as I've been going through and replaying these games, I literally started with Castlevania 1, 2, and then I did two of the ones that are on the Game Boy, Castlevania The Adventure, or the Castlevania Adventure, Part 2, Castlevania 3, and now I'm doing Castlevania 4. And as I'm going through and playing these games, I'm finding the axe is probably the better weapon, especially for boss fights, just because it's easier to stay on the ground and throw it up than it is to necessarily throw it out. There are obviously some bosses that are an exception to that. So, yeah, it's a pretty powerful one for sure. We're due a new Super Castlevania game now that Konami is back in the full swing and Silent Hill is re-gearing up Metal Gear Solid. Dude, I would love another Castlevania game. And honestly, I would love it to be... my thought process, and I put this out there on one of my other videos, I would love to see them just go back and redo the original games, like these original 8 and 16-bit games, with newer graphics. And then if you wanted to, like, I think it would even be cool to have a mode where you can go back and use either the powers of some of the other Belmonts, or just allow them to all have that power. So like, I mean, obviously being able to whip all the way around would be really great. But like in particular, like Richter's abilities in, what is it called? Symphony of the Night, where he's got like the uppercut and he's got the slide. And then of course, like, you know, he throws the cross and stuff, but then he has like the super powerful version. I would love to be able to do that. And who knows, it may make you totally OP on going back and playing those old games, but who cares? Like, we're here to play the games and have fun. Like, I don't need it to be super hard. I know there was kind of a time period where it's just like, hey, let's just make the games as hard as we possibly can because we need to make it challenging. No, you need to make it as fun as you can. So maybe Konami will bring back Turbo as well. Turbo. Not sure what you're referring to. Born Distracted. Okay. I prefer the cross in this one. The axe is also purposeful, so I can understand why you want it. Yeah, Sonic Plus treatment, like we get use the Castlevania 3 characters in the OG Castlevania. Yeah, that'd be awesome too to be able to, especially because I mean, like when I was playing Castlevania 3, like Alucard is, I mean, yeah, you get where you can like shoot 3 balls of flame or whatever, but like they're not powerful at all. Having him be as powerful as he was in Symphony of the Night would be fantastic, and then doing the same thing for Grant and for Sypha. Which, by the way, I did, real quick before I get back into the game, I did some reading on that. Sypha is actually, in that OG game, is a female. They meant for her to be a female, but all the instructions and stuff say that she's a male, and that was because, in that time period, if you were a magic user and you were male, hey, you're a wizard, and wizards can be cool. But if you're a female using magic, then you're a witch. And, of course, witches are not great. So I'm glad they did that. That's really cool, but it was one of those things that I was just like, did they? If you have not watched the Castlevania series on YouTube on Netflix, go do it. They're fantastic. But I was like, did they change her sex or his sex in the show? Because I like what they did, but no, apparently they didn't. Like that she was always supposed to be a female. She was just presented as male in the game because of that storyline, which I'm just like, that's awesome. All right, here we go. Oh, started out backwards. Why did I swing backwards? Back that up just a little bit. I love that it freeze frames wherever you are whenever you grab the ball. I love how it does that because you can get some really epic looking freeze frames. Yeah, I'm an hour and a half in, so I'm gonna stop here. I think this is probably one of my favorite levels, though. Is this the one I'm thinking of? No. Okay. Or maybe it's the second part of this one. The gold level where you're in the treasury and just everything is covered in gold. It's so cool. The music's awesome in that level. I love how when you're walking over stuff, like you just see all the little pieces of treasure all over the place. It's just, that's one of my favorite levels. I like this level as well because of the library aspect. But, all right. And I'm going to stop because if I don't, I will keep going. So, and I just said, I've got to stop this. I don't have to, but I'm going to. So let's do a save state real quick and let's quit out. All right, here we go. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, this is, we were playing Super Castlevania 3. Little bit about it, for anyone that joined in a little bit later. Came out in 1991. This is actually part of an alternate timeline. Like I said, I've been going through these games, and yeah, this is actually the start of an alternate timeline. This is not even in the primary timeline as you go through. This is the start of the original timeline is Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, and then it goes into Castlevania the Adventure, or the Castlevania Adventure. Belmont's Revenge continues on in the original Castlevania, and then continues on again in Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, and then it moves on into one of the Game Boy Advance games. But yeah, for timeline-wise, this game is not in the actual major timeline. It is in a separate timeline, and the next game in its alternate timeline is Castlevania Dracula X, which is actually the alternate version of the next game we're going to play. Now, I've got work tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow night. I may try to give it a shot. But if I am able to stream tomorrow night, the next game up, release order-wise, from 1991, at least for these old G games, is 1993, which means we are going to play next maybe one of the other best games, probably top 3 Castlevania games of all time. Castlevania Rondo of Blood. I will go into that more whenever I get around to playing that game. Like I said, it may be tomorrow. We're going to see what happens or not. I have Cyrus Martin, Super Mega Graphics 64, is the reason that I have fallen in love with this game. I never played it. Like I said earlier, I've never had a TurboGrafx console, and I was having difficulty getting it to work on RetroArch, and I was about to the point of giving up. And I was like, Cy, is it really worth my time to do this? And I'll tell that whole story, but he's like, yes, it's worth your time. And sure enough, I started playing that game and absolutely fell in love with it. It is so good. Rondo of Blood is a fantastic game. And it came out in October of 1993, at least in Japan, because it didn't really get an official, it's all Cy's fault. Yes, it is all Cy's fault. Like this game would have, if I knew about this game back then, I would have been like, I need a TurboGrafx. Like I need one of these systems. It is so good. And we are playing Richter Belmont, and we are back in the primary timeline. So, one quick thing, as I play that game, or if you haven't played it and you get a chance to play it, go play it, especially before you go to watch, if you have not watched Castlevania Nocturne, the second series they did on Netflix, you need to play this game in order to understand that show. Because I watched the first season of it, thought it was good, played this game all the way through and beat it, and then when I went back for the second season, fell in love with it. I was just like, oh my god, it makes this show so much better. So yeah, definitely check it out. So that is our stream for the day, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see here. If you would, please go check us out at epicallygeeky.com. You can find all the shows that we do, including the Epically Geeky show, Sustainably Geeky, Marginally Geeky, and Creatively Geeky. We're actually recording an episode later on today at 5 o'clock, so in about 3.5 hours of the Marginally Geeky show. It's our book club, and so we are reading the past and no. Guys, I think it's it's something like the past and future witches, which was my friend Chris's pick. What did I think about it? You'll have to tune in and see. So yeah, sticking with the spooky season. So, and then like I said, I may try to do a stream tomorrow night, and we'll see how it goes. If I get to it, great. If not, we will continue on. But that will be the next game that I stream. Will be Castlevania Rondo of Blood. Let's see. Let's thank everyone in the chat real quick. Super Mega Graphics 64, my boy Cyrus, I want to say my ride or die, but he's more my partner in crime. Last Line, thanks for showing up, man. It's always good to see you. Real Goose, nice to meet you. Definitely, if you're into retro gaming, I do a lot of retro gaming here. But also check out Super Mega Graphics 64 on YouTube. Check out Last Line on YouTube as well. They got some good stuff on their channels. Let's see here. Who else we got? Tex-Mex. My boy Tex-Mex was on here. Born Distracted. Always good to see you, man. Bassarino. Love seeing you, dude. Always love when you show up. My boy Alex. If you're down for the Fortnite, go check out his channel at Epic Lion. So I guess for everyone from the chat, and for myself, have a good day.